Welcome to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Today's is a strange one for me, a very strange one indeed for me. I don't know how to even begin, and I'm actually going to switch off music for this entire stream because I'm going to take about 30 minutes in explaining why the video is titled the way it's titled. But before we begin, I want to show something that is very new to me. Apparently, you could change fonts in VS Code. I did not know that until I started trying it out because I was so frustrated and so bored with the font that was there on VS Code. And I think that was also kind of shaping off a certain bit of my productivity. Let me show you what I mean. So if we go to our desktop right here, so as you can see, we are on a different font over here. And this one is a font that I found and, just sort of downloaded on GitHub. I thought this was cool. I really thought the handwriting style of font was the best. And so that's what I've been using, and it's keeping me very productive. As you can see, my hours are at 4 hours and 45 minutes. This is the highest I've clocked in the last 2 months, which is really, really, really decent. As you can see, the day is not yet over, and yeah, we're still working out a few things here and there. So I'm enjoying myself with this font. I think it's the best. It's called monospace. So in order to do that, you can be going to the settings part, and then you go to the text editor, and then you go to fonts. Now on fonts, the area for fonts, okay, so this is where you change the fonts. So there's font families, and then there's font ligatures, all right? So font families, there's this one I found online called Monospace Radon. This is the one that is handwriting wise, and I think I can just go ahead and proceed to show you where to find it. So I think fonts for VS Code, there's this one called GitHub Next Monospace, and I think these fonts are very, very nice for you to try and explore at least. So yeah, this is it. This is why I got the fonts, and then I went on to download all of them from GitHub through, I think, where was it? I think I just went to this point over here. I downloaded the 1.2, and then there are some ligatures over here that now change. Like, let's say, for example, this item over here. So if we go back to our VS Code and we look at something like not equals, you can see that's how it is. And if I can add another equals, right, that becomes 3 equal signs. Then there is not greater, which doesn't have a ligature. Greater than or equal to. As you can see, this one has a ligature. Greater than, less than or equal to should have. And then you can see there's a double equals the way it does. Then there's the arrow. Arrows also have that. So that's something that came with the font as well. And then as you can see that we have the font itself showing it in a handwriting manner. So yeah, so these are the various things that you'll need to just go ahead and download. So I'll click on this 1.2, and then I download, of course, of which I've already downloaded. So if I hit Control J and show you what we have over here, we definitely have this monospace, and then after extraction, you have it like this. So now what you need to do is copy everything inside font. So you'll go and copy frozen into the fonts directory. So the fonts directory is in the local disk C. You go to Windows, and then you go to fonts. So all you just need to do is drag and drop what is inside here to fonts. Then you drag and drop what is inside OTF into fonts. then you also drag what is inside variable into fonts. Web fonts are usually used for the websites and all that. So these ones are dragged into projects and all that. So yeah, once you have all your fonts set up, like this is an example. Maybe I can show you monospace. After it just automatically installs all the fonts once you drag and drop. So like for me now, I have monospace argon, monospace argon frozen. I have all these Krypton. I have radon, which is what I'm using currently, the radon frozen. And once you have that, now you can just go ahead into the settings, which is over here, change the font family to monospace radon monospace. And then, and note the spelling actually, this is Mona and then this is Mono. So that's very crucial. Then you close VS Code and open it again and you have your fonts ready. It's just as easy as that. I hope I've explained it very directly. Okay, so now we were talking about Paystack. Paystack is a more frustrating item. The reason why it's frustrating is because one, it has the lowest reviews on Trustpilot when it comes to all payment integration systems. So if we look at Paystack Trustpilot, you'll definitely see that there are so many bad reviews of Paystack. You can see there's a heavy poor review levels, right? Because maybe there's a bit of a problem with the support and the slowness. And of course, yeah, we'll get a lot of bad reviews. But I've used Paystack for a while and I totally see like some of these guys, when they're using some of Paystack's features, they can't really wait. They're not patient, right? Because you see now it also takes time to process funds, unlike Pesapal, which processes funds instantly. So the other thing that is a problem also on top of that is that it's actually the best to integrate with into applications. So if you guys remember the last stream I was looking at, I was trying to change this to Pesapal. And the problem I was running into is that I can't submit extra data to be able to be used inside, the Pesapal integration, where if I wanted to have the extra data of like, okay, this guy has paid for this item and that means they've subscribed for this long. You can't add that extra metadata. So I came to the conclusion that Paystack is essentially using most of its code on session storage, while this one is actually using it on the token, the grabbing of tokens and transferring them through the URLs and everything. So that's where I got a little bit confused on what it is. And I figured out that for SaaS products, it's always best to use what Paystack has offered. So looks like I'll have to just forgo the extra 30 shillings that I'll be spending. Because I said that Paystack is more expensive than Pesapal, but by a static 30 shillings on each and every single point of transaction. So if you're doing small transactions, which I'm hoping that there'll be no situation of that, then we have if we're doing small transactions, then we have the problem of 30 shillings always being deducted from those small transactions. So you can't do a transaction that is less than, say, roughly about 45, 50 shillings. And that's where, we have a bit of a problem here with Paystack. Now, moving on to going back to that same level of integration, I've realized that at the same time as well, Paystack does its transactions very smoothly and its integration is very smooth. Like if you watch this, like if you look at just this, for example, right? Let's say I am going to, let's say I'm going to a different company, like this one, for example, right? Okay, this one has a subscription. I think it's subscribed. So if I wanted to upgrade the subscription, then upgrade to this plan, then of course we have a certain level of like proration and all that different stuff, which I want to be able to do. So, okay, right. So this is what we're going to do in this project today. This is proration, the logic of proration, which allows for users to be able to upgrade or downgrade their subscriptions if they feel like they could have done without a certain feature, and they could have gone for a lower subscription format if they needed to go ahead and use the application. Right, so I'm taking comments now. I think I've introduced this a little bit well, and I've over-introduced this, so I guess it's bad all the same, but I'm taking in questions. So the first one I'm looking at the chat. Sneezy, welcome to the stream. Are you going to build your own Paystack alternative? It looks like I have to now at this point, because here's the thing. Paystack right now is owned by Stripe. For those guys who know Stripe, Stripe is the leading payments gateway integration for most of all mobile applications and web applications. And Paystack is the African alternative to Stripe. Pesapal, on the other hand, is... so let's just do Paystack ownership. And you can definitely see Paystack is now a subsidiary of Stripe following its acquisition in October 2020 for over 200 million. So that's what's going down at the moment. But it was owned by a Nigerian who created this particular application. Pesapal on its own, it's Kenyan owned, right? And yeah. Owned by M-Pesa founder Augusta Lico. I wonder who this is actually. I don't even know who this is. But yeah, so it's Kenyan owned, but it's East Africa based. And honestly, they've never upgraded their UI. Their UI is just so trash. If I were to upgrade Force's UI, which I have in progression, and then I come in and look at the Pesapal payment system, it just doesn't fit. If I hit this checkout button, right, you can see that message, invalid amount sent. Okay, so you can't send amounts on a negative value. So that's how we go about that. Anyway, so we're still working on this proration. The reason why I'm thinking about developing my own Paystack alternative at this point, and it's good that you asked that question because I've really been thinking about it, is because there's no maintenance whatsoever that is being done. Maybe on the back end, it's being done heavily on the back end, but on the front end, there's no upgrades, there's no user, experience that is being added. There's just not much progression. So it creates a very huge gap for people who want to take whatever it is that Pesapal has built, fork it for themselves, and then upgrade onto other partitions of UI, let's say, for example, or even new backend that allows different methods of payment. So yeah, I think that's going to be a project that we will definitely take on. I'm just hoping that it's not going to be too back-end heavy. Okay. All right. So let's begin. So proration. What is proration? Actually, I didn't even create notes on this. So let me just Google this. So proration means adjusting an amount proportionally based on time, usage, or other relevant factors. So when we talk of proration in IT, meaning well, it's pretty much the same definition, adjusting the cost of a service or a subscription based on the actual time it was used during the billing cycle rather than charging the full amount. So it ensures that users only pay for what they have consumed, and this is the common in subscription-based services where changes like additions, cancellations, or modifications occur mid-billing cycle. So essentially what it's explained is, let's say we've subscribed over here, okay? And this is the subscription details, right? The start date of this subscription is July 23rd. Then the end date is January 19th, 2026, okay? So what happens if this guy accidentally bought, the professional plan for an annual plan, right? I think this is even a semi-annual plan, actually. This is a semi-annual plan. So what happens is this guy wants to just minimize it to use it for like maybe say a month. So he wants to come in and use the professional plan for a month only, not the semi-annual version. Maybe the quarterly, maybe the monthly. Okay, so what's going to happen is it's going to select this one for the monthly one, and it's going to go ahead and, like, let's say, for example, upgrade to this plan. So the proration in this situation would be the amount that he has already paid for the currently consumed subscription, and then you subtract it from what he is about to pay. And whatever the balance is, if it's negative, it goes into his wallet, which, of course, given the policy of whatever it is that you're using, if your policy dictates that he's able to get a refund on whatever it is that he wants, that's fine. If he's not supposed to get a refund, it remains in his wallet and he cannot withdraw it unless they make a cumulative agreement with the company at hand. Otherwise, and this is one thing that not many people really account for. The other alternative is if now this becomes a positive value. It means that the amount that he wants to upgrade to is more expensive than what he had already paid. And of course, he's used that amount, a certain amount of whatever it is that he's already paid, maybe say by a day or by 2 days or something like that. And so the process of reevaluation would be that he needs to pay that balance that is coming as a positive. So whatever it is that is negative here, it goes back into his account. Whatever it is that is positive moves, he has to pay the difference. And that is proration. So it will happen mid-billing cycle. Let's say, for example, he's paid it on 23rd July, and then maybe say on 24th, he's decided, oh, I chose the wrong package. Let's switch up. And that's when we start doing the internal calculations. And yeah, that's how we work it out. So how do we go about this? Well, the first thing is I've already created a function over here called upgrade, where we get the company, okay, where we get also the current subscription of the company, right, the active subscription. And if the current subscription is, if there's a current subscription, right, then we definitely now save the values as follows, right? So there's the end, okay, we put the end to being at this particular point when we are actually starting to upgrade. So this function is only triggered when the payment is made. Depending, the payment is made or the confirmation is made on whatever it is that he wants. Like, let's say, for example, if there is going to be a proration in terms of the value is he's supposed to get a refund, then we work with it accordingly, and then this is definitely triggered. But it doesn't work on the payment. Now, at what point do we have those upgrades? So I created this side over here for the subscription upgrade. What's going to happen is we have the starter plan over here. This is the actual price. Then the proration is supposed to be, and to calculate the proration is supposed to be, let me actually see this. So I think I put the proration over here. So unused portion, which is supposed to be current subscription. So the current subscription, I think I saved it as, okay. So the proration amount. So I'll just come in here and say get company, because I have a function get company. And how I did this, maybe you can go ahead and check out the rest of the series for how building a startup, right? I think I did coding a startup, and I did a series of 10 episodes. So this function I created in, I think, episode 4. I think this was an episode 4 function. It's a helper function. And I've gotten the company. Now I come in here and just do active subscription _ subscription. And once you get the active subscription, you get the plan, and then you get the price for that period. So now we have it here. So there's this, which is very interesting actually, because you see what I've paid for in this situation is $35.99.99. So this is the professional plan, which is billed semi-annually. So if I go to upgrade the subscription, I'll come in here and upgrade to this plan, right? Which is pretty much a downgrade, right? So if it's a downgrade, then I have the amount here being the starter plan, and this should be, let's see, this is the checkout, upgrade checkout. So the starter plan, actually, so I should reverse whatever it is that I did here. So it's the plan. Okay, so we have the plan there, and okay, so we have the plan name meaning what we have over here. So this was the initial one. Oh, this is what we're upgrading to. So the starter plan is what we're upgrading to. And then the proration is going to be, I need to look for that proration. So proration should be here. Okay, and instead of display currency, I think I want to use currency. Yeah. And then instead of plan get price for period, because we are upgrading from our current plan, so I just need to come in here and do that. So I'll do public current subscription, and inside here I'll come and say this company gets, this current subscription is, you get the company, get the active subscription. And then once you've done that, then the proration becomes very easy at this point, because it's supposed to be the amount. And when I click on checkout, you'll definitely see the amount that comes into play at this point. Because if I did it with a better, I think if I did it with starter and then I went to the higher one, let's actually do that. So we go to annual, and we select this one. And I don't know why this one is saying already subscribed yet. Okay, so there's a lot of logic we need to change. We need to start with the upgrade, then the upgrade checkout. So within the upgrade is where we start detailing what it is that we can upgrade to. So upgrade your subscription. Here you can upgrade your current subscription to access more features and so on and so forth, right? Then we list down the features, the plans together with the features. So we have the professional plan over here, and it's saying it's already subscribed. But that should not be the case. And notice I'm using Volt at the moment. So what should be the case? Well, inside this upgrade plan card, and I don't know if this font is good enough, honestly, for those guys who are viewing, but me, I'm enjoying it. It's I can read it very easily, and I don't know if like it's going to be okay for everybody. Okay, so so here where we have already subscribed, the thing about this is if the subscription plan ID is not equal to the plan ID, so the background is white. Okay. One thing I want to do here is I want to add another AND logic. So I'm just going to say AND the billing period. So the billing period, so the plan type, and the subscription plan ID over here. You know, the thing about this one is, and plan type is so not equal to, and I think just one equals is okay, is not equal to subscription billing period. Yeah. So the thing about that is if we go to the subscriptions table, which is over here, there should be, you see we have the start date and the end date. Okay. So here we don't have the billing period set up for us, which is what can really cause us to have a bit of a problem. So one thing I would probably set up is, like, let's say for example this subscription here, right? Any active subscription will always follow the order of either monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually based off of the start date and the end date. So if we go ahead and go to the subscriptions model, we can now create a billing period function which returns a property. So what we do, I think we'll just go to subscriptions, then we'll come in here and just do a public function get billing period attributes, and then we'll come in here and say that so we'll come in here and say, okay, this start and this end, if the difference in days between the start and the end is 30 days, then return monthly. We have yearly. So there's 30 days. Maybe say diff in months. But the thing about this one is I want it to always not throw an error, so I'll just use carbon. So I'll carbon parse, and I'll also carbon parse this one. And then we have, so the start difference in months. Okay, difference in days is more like it, because you see it won't always return it to months. So if the difference in days is 30, right, okay, else, so else means it's greater than 30. So now if it's less than 90 days, so 90 days is 3 months, return quarterly. else if now after this will be semi-annually. Semi-annually is 120, I believe. 6 times 30, 180 days. Right. And then we'll come in here and just do semi-annually. But now here's the kicker. I don't know. Should be 6. Difference in months is less than 6. This one is less than 3. If we do different months, okay, let's do less than or equal to 1, less than or equal to 3, less than or equal to 6. Then we'll do that one. Okay. Then we have else, and then this one will return annually. And that's just that. I don't think I want to have any plans that exceed 1 year. So that's how I would probably calculate it at this particular point. Great. So now we have billing period. If we go to upgrade, we're able to get it now. So if we come in here to the upgrade and get, okay, so we have the selected billing period, we have the plan. So now once we come down here, I have all these upgrade cards. And if we go to annual, this already subscribed should disappear if I came in here and said, okay, and the plan type is not equal to the subscription billing period, then the background should be white. So there's 3 things that are happening here. We're checking if the plan ID from the subscription and the plan ID from the data from the database are equal. And if not, then it will definitely be white. Okay, so there's 2 checks that are happening over here. So it's both of these have to return true, which is almost impossible, honestly, because I'm looking at it and I'm just thinking to myself, oh, this one should be or. Yeah, this one should be or. So given that that's the situation, or, and this one should also be or. Let's see. So these ones here, upgrade to this plan. Let me just take this one as well. Yeah. So if we go to semi-annually, this should change to semi-annually. This over here should change to already subscribed, right? Because these ones have not had, it's just this one that has been subscribed to. So the key address here is going to be, man, this is going to be interesting. I need music. Yeah, it was a bad idea to turn off the music when I did. Okay, let's begin. Okay. Whatever is going on here is a bit complex for to the naked eye. That's one thing I'll say straight up. This one for upgrade to this plan should always be on BG Force. That's one thing, so I don't need this. And I don't need this. Okay, and then if the subscription plan ID is not equal to the plan ID, or the plan type is not equal to the subscription billing period, then upgrade to this plan. Yes, that is how I want it. Otherwise, we have this already subscribed button. So if I go to semi-annually, this should not exist. This should be already subscribed. So subscription plan ID, all that. So now what I want to do here is maybe inside this card, maybe I can just do something like subscription billing period, so that I can actually see what is going on in these cards. So you can see semi-annually on these. So given that we have semi-annually plan over here, and we can also check the plan type. So plan type should be, let's see what happens. So plan type is monthly. Okay, so plan type is monthly. Here we have semi-annually. Okay, so I think the one thing that I needed to check out is the fact that I'm using a hyphen instead of an underscore. So that should be that. And yeah, so let's see. Because I know if I check out my plans table, which is inside my database, I should be able to see what is universal. So I'll go to the database, SQLite. Then we'll go to, I don't know why this is behaving like this. Why is this behaving like this? What's going on? Yeah. So this thing has decided to mess us up, which is very interesting scenes indeed. Because I thought we were using SQLite. Let me see. We are using SQLite. We've migrated everything into SQLite. Okay, fair enough. So what to do? Okay. How am I going to look at SQLite at this point? Unless I'll change the extension, I don't know. Anyway, so the seeders will tell me what I put in the plants. So plant seeder, you can see we have semi-annually. So I'll need to check wherever it is that I did semi-annually and change it. And I want it to be case sensitive. So this is the only place. The only place is here, right? So that's that, I think. So now when I go back here, get rid of this statement here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so if I go to semi-annually, this should have said already subscribed. Quarterly is here. Annually, we are here. Monthly, we are here. So it works now. So if I go to the semi-annually section, this one has already been subscribed to. So that is the exact match in terms of like the plan type, in terms of the billing period. And now at the same time, we're looking at also the plan itself. So yeah. So how is proration going to be calculated in a situation like this one? So, well, let's look at this. We have 36,000, we have 21,600. Essentially, if I was to upgrade to this plan, it will subtract from this one to get, so 36, let's go to the calculator. We'll get 36,000 minus 21,600. which is going to be 14,400. This, if once we've done that, it upgrades to the balance, or rather we go to the wallet of the company. So if I click on upgrade to this plan, then we should have the starter plan 21,600, right? Starter plan, and it also gives us the billing period which we have selected. So now we've done the upgrade area. We can go now to the upgrade checkout area. So this is the checkout page. And now we can go to company, subscriptions, upgrade checkout. And it starts from the very top actually. Because you see at the point where we selected this, this subscription, we've selected both of the, let's just go back to the upgrade. We've selected both. This is what it's doing, right? So we've selected the plan ID, the billing period, and the amount, and we've put it inside the session, right? So that is what is going to go to the upgrade checkout. We've said this plan is like this, the amount is like this, the billing period, the start date, and the end date is going to be as the way we've set it up. So, and the current subscription is here like this. So now when we look at it from the perspective of the details that are displaying on the UI, the starter plan area should also display the billing period. So that's where we start from, I believe. So the checkout summary is over here. Then we have the plan name. And what we're going to do here, after plan name, we're just going to do the billing period. And what I'm going to do here is str replace, and then the string here is billing period, not repeat, I said replace. So we're going to use str replace, and then what we're going to replace is the underscore, and we're going to replace it with the space. So we're going to just do an underscore over here, and then we put a comma and put in the subject, which is the billing period. Save this and it should come. So semi-annual billing. And the next one should be, or let's do it like this, yeah. Let's do it like this. We'll come in here and say billing period. Could just leave it like this, why not? And then we'll just surround it with the comma, with the parentheses, just like that. Then the proration comes in when we are taking in the amount of the current billing. So we have the current billing, we have the current subscription. Okay, so the current subscription should be, where is it? Where was I again? My goodness. So I was here. The current subscription is here. So I'll come in here and say current subscription, and then we get the plan, or we get the current subscription and then we say the amount. So we have the current subscription here. So the total, I don't know why you're doing this. Okay, so the total should be this and this subtracted. So the total should be, come in here and take the current subscription amount subtracted from the actual amount that is coming in. And just like how we should have negative 14,400. Because we're getting this actually, yeah, getting this. So 14,400. But this one is showing us display currency instead of actual currency. So it should be 14,400 like so. And then I think also here on the display should be the same thing. Okay. And then one thing that I need to also get out of the way is the whole idea of proration, right? So we have this amount over here. So the upgrade amount is what shows up over here. But the upgrade amount comes in from the upgrade tab over here. So this is upgrade amount, which is maximum between the plan type and unused amount, or 0. So what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to max. I'm just going to have it accumulate like that. And then we come in here into this part over here. And now in order for us to get proration, what we'll just do here is just get rid of this and put amount. And it will still be, it will be 0 at the moment, which is very interesting. But now, once we come back here and then we say go semi-annually and then upgrade to this plan, now we come and get this. And because there's a proration amount over here, and the proration amount should be this part over here. We should get this over here minus the amount. And that's where we get this 35,990. This is the proration. Because they've definitely used it for a day, like even after paying for it, that's how it goes. So yeah, that's how we are doing it, and I think we are shoo-in at this point. So now at this point where we're initiating Paystack, okay, now we come in here and say if the amount is negative, so if the amount is less than or equal to 0, of course we're going to dispatch an error, right? So let's say invalid amount for payment, right? But what we could do instead is we could trigger a wallet return, okay? So this could be a very interesting one. Return to wallet, which means we'll also have to create a wallet situation as well. So we'll come in here and just do PHP artisan. I don't know if this thing has finished running. So PHP artisan, make model company wallet. I don't know if I have wallets in this system. No, I have payrolls, but I don't have wallets. So we have company wallet. We'll just do it like that. Or we could do user wallet. I think user wallet it makes sense. So make model user wallet. It should have a migration. So what I've done is wrong. In fact, I don't even need to create a separate entity for this. Let me get rid of those models and then we can work around something different. So I'll get rid of that one and I'll also get rid of this one. And then I'll come in here and say PHP artisan make migration instead. And then I'll say add wallet balance to users table. I'll make it like that. And now once we've done that, we can open it up and then I think AI will just do it. Wallet balance, currency is wallet enabled. That was too easy. This is a different handwriting, it seems. Slightly different handwriting, but yeah. So we have decimal wallet balance is here. Default is here. User wallet balance. So that's the comment we have there. And then I don't know if I'll use currency. I don't think I'll use currency. I don't think I'll use currency because there's a default app currency that is set up, so I won't use currency. And is wallet enabled for the user? I think this one, toggling this will be good. I think it will be good for the application, such that now when we go to the checkout variation over here, if the amount is less than or equal to 0, then what are we going to do if the amount is less than or equal to 0? So the user that is currently here trying to transact this should get this discount into their account. So I'll come in here and say user All right, so user is equal to the authenticated user. Then, of course, I need to do migrate the wallet balance to users table. And one thing is that I need to also do a drop for all these columns. So that one will sit nicely just there. Okay, then I'm just going to close everything and reopen that file again, which is inside company subscriptions upgrade checkout. So here we need to take the amount and add it to the wallet of the user. Okay. Wallet balance. Now, given that it's less than 0, I need to change this to absolute. Right? ABS is what does the absolute value of a number. Yeah, that's fine. And then just do user save. And then we'll run the whatever it is that is happening inside. We'll go to controllers, subscription, and then we have this function here called upgrade. I'm just going to come in here and call a downgrade. Okay, so I'll come in here and paste this function here and call it downgrade. And then, of course, we get all these details, current company, whatnot. And we're not doing anything on Paystack at this point. So reset that. So if the current subscription is there, we end the current subscription and then create a new subscription with all this data. But now the data is coming in from this call over here. So we'll come in here and say this downgrade. And the data, okay, so company ID will be session. So in the session, we have the current company ID. We have the plan ID, which is session upgrade plan ID. There's no Paystack reference. We have the start date, which is inside the session as well. Upgrade start date. Then we have the end date, which is inside here. So we have session end date. And then we have the amount, which is inside session as well. Session. And that should be that actually. But given that everything is here, why not just use this for like session current company ID is fine. This one should be this plan ID. Yeah, this should be this plan ID, this start date. And this one should be this end date. And then we have the upgrade amount, which is this amount. And now we have the current subscription already. So we don't even need to do anything really. All you just need to come in here and do is this. So we'll come and say this current subscription. And save it. And just like that, we are done with that. So there's the downgrade. Then we do the subscription create. Once we've done the create, because it doesn't have any Paystack reference, I'm going to use this. Then return redirect to company dashboard. All right. Actually, we'll instead of doing return redirect, I'll just come in here and just do this. Done. And then we'll do this redirect intended. Then the route is company dashboard, just like that. And that's how fast you go with GitHub Copilot, ladies and gentlemen. We are moving very well. Okay, so now that this is the way, this downgrade. Okay, so we'll come into this downgrade. And then the else is everything else. So if I didn't put this else here, this try catch would have run anyway. So yeah, that's how we go about it. So if I click on checkout, subscription downgraded successfully. If we go here, you can see active subscription. It's definitely on a negative because that's the amount that was paid. So that is the refund. So if we go to the history of subscriptions, it will show like definitely how it started and ended, and why we've started this new active subscription as the active subscription. So this works quite well. So you can see this is a full on year. If I want to upgrade this subscription, this is what I would do. Okay. Now this is where things now start getting interesting. I'll go annually. Okay. And if I go annually, we upgrade, and you can definitely see there's no proration, right? And the reason why there's no proration is because essentially there has to be an account balance in the account. Again, one thing that is being checked about this proration is we can definitely see that we're using something that should be what? Let me see this. So we are here on the semi-annual, the annual plans. We're on the starter annual plans. This is 37,800. This is 63,000. So if we do 63,000 minus the 37,800, because that's the subscription that we are on at the moment. Okay, compared to the pro of this. So this was okay. This is interesting because you see, I think I should have used this. This is 36,000, and if I initialize that payment, it's going to be like that. So it goes to 36,000. So there's a few kinks I need to operate on over here to just finish up the proration area. So there's proration, and then there's also an account balance that needs to also be accounted for. So the account balance should be here somewhere. So like here, we have the billing period amount. I'm just going to add this to the list, which is going to be user account balance. And it's just going to be just like that. And then we're going to come in here and do currency, and then we'll just do auth user account balance. Or wallet balance. Just like that. So we have this user account balance, right? Which is what should be subtracted from, we should subtract that from this, and then whatever it is that remains, we charge the user, and then the user's account goes back to 0. So if I click on checkout, right? If I click on checkout, it should go to Paystack, of course. But now this is where the proration now comes into play, because if we have this subscription, but this is the starter pack, which is the billing period of this starter pack is let's see. Let's see what happens here. So we have the billing period, and then we come in here and just do current subscription billing period. And yeah, it's annual, right? So this is the annual plan for the starter pack. Okay, and then when we're coming here to the price and the price paid, so we have the price here, which is supposed to be current subscription plan price or prices based off of the current subscriptions billing period. And yeah, so it's 37,800 price paid. We retracted that amount. So this should essentially mean that this is what the account has. The user had probably paid a balance that was higher than that when they went towards the annual plans, or rather the semi-annual plans. So let's see what happens here. Price paid is current subscription amount. So I'll take this and put it at the very beginning, where we have the sub card over here. Then we have this sub amount. Instead of sub amount, we're just going to do sub I don't know. It's definitely going to show nothing. And then we're just going to come in here and do this. At the same time, I'm going to pass in plan, and we're going to do prices. And then it's going to be encompassed in an array. Yeah, so there we go. So if it is less, then what I want to do here is I'll wrap this in an absolute, and then if the current subscription amount is less than 0, so I'll come in here and just call this. So if the current subscription amount is less than 0, then we'll say refunded. Okay. Just like that. So that logic works, I believe. That logic works very well. And then I can leave this as a H5 actually. Just leave it a bit smaller. And I can do a text success. Or I can do it based off of this. So text danger if it was refunded, or text success. So text success and text danger. Yeah, that's how it should be. So when we upgrade, we can definitely tell that we are on an annual starter plan, right? If I upgrade to this plan, given that I've only used a day of this, if I upgrade to this plan, the proration should be 1. This is it's worth 37,800. Whatever it is that I have is worth 37,800. Okay, so the proration is I've not used it for like more than a day. If I've used it for more than a day, then it should. Oh, okay. So it should refund to me that 37,800. I have the wallet balance of 14,390. I've got to pay this 63,000. So this 63,000 should be minus that and minus the proration as well. Because I've already paid that 37,800. If that makes sense. Okay, so now back to the checkout. In this checkout, we have the current subscription. To get the proration, it should come from here, from the upgrade.blade.php. So unused amount, so let's say we have the amount paid over here. Should it be amount paid or the value of it? It should be the value of it. Okay. If it is, so days left is 0 and total days is greater than 0 and amount paid is greater than 0. Instead of amount paid, we should have value. Being equal to the current subscription plan plan, yeah, like that. And I'm not going to accept anything else. So over here it's going to be value being greater than 0. Then the unused amount should be the amount paid. It should be the value actually. So the value divided by the total number of days times the days left. So that should always be the case. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go to monthly and let's select to this professional. So the value of this professional plan is this. The proration is this, which is perfect. Then the user account balance is this. Now the total should be, okay, the total should be this over here. So given that we have this professional plan over here and then we have the user account balance at this. If the proration was at this amount, the user account balance should come after the total. The user account balance should be after the total. Because we are thinking about it in a process of, If the user needs to pay a certain amount, then the account balance is the first thing that they go to. So the account balance should just definitely appear after the amount. So I'm just going to come in here, take this unordered list styled, and put it above this one. And then we're going to close the unordered list like this. Yeah. And I'm going to just do this like this. So I'll put an if statement over here. So an if the authenticated user balance is greater than 0, then I actually do the list underneath the total over here. So you need to pay 7,500, but the proration of what it is that you have paid for is, or rather what it is that you are supposed to pay for is 37,798. So if you subtract that, then you're remaining with 3298.24, and the user account balance is at this. So total to pay, right. So the total to pay is supposed to be total to pay should be okay. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, so if the amount is less than 0, add to the wallet balance. Otherwise, I have Paystack over here. The amount should be the amount. Okay, so let's say new amount is equal to amount minus the wallet balance times 100, because the amount is always going to be at times 100, right? Because the amount we're sending over, I think the amount we're sending over is this upgrade amount. This upgrade amount is multiplied by 10. Unused amount, is it already multiplied by 10 somewhere? Value, total days, what. Is it already being multiplied by 100 somewhere? No. So if that's the case, then the new amount should be amount over here minus wallet balance. So we have this new amount being equal to amount minus the wallet balance. I would use this. I won't use this. I'll just use new amount is this. So then we'll come in and pass the new amount. If new amount is less than 0 now, new amount is equal to 0. This is going to be difficult. Instead, so ensure the amount is not negative. Okay. Inside here, if the new amount is less than 0, here's the thing. If the new amount is less than 0, it means that Okay, first of all, here's the thing. If the new amount is less than 0, or let's just put it like this. If the wallet, yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. So if the wallet balance is greater than the amount, then the new amount is 0, and then the new amount is 0, okay, and the wallet balance authenticated user is supposed to be minus equals to the amount. And then save, right? So we trigger that save after the minus equals the amount, and then we save. Once that is done, then we don't need to even trigger this, and we just go ahead and downgrade. So now if the new amount is this, then we have to put the try catch inside this if statement. I hope we've accounted for every single thing now. So we save the wallet balance, and then after that, just run downgrade again. Because if the wallet balance is greater than the amount, you're still upgrading, yes, but whatever it is that you have as a wallet balance is yeah, we just call downgrade. Yeah, it's straightforward because we have the current subscription, we're ending it now, and then we are starting the new subscription with the company ID, plan ID, start, and amount, which is quite fine. And then the else now runs the try catch in here. And then over here, now after we've done this, the new amount, we also need to do the authenticated user wallet balance to be equal to 0 and save. Yeah, I think that's the way. That's the way. That should be everything. Now let's try it out. Yeah. Now proration is over. I'm suspecting it's over. So I'm just going to do a PHP artisan migrate fresh and seed all the data. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I'm confident. Let me actually try this. Yeah? I'm confident. I'm very confident. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's stream. Today, we are sorting out the whole essence of proration in SaaS. So what is proration? Proration is where, let's say for example, somebody has subscribed to a certain service of yours for an entire month, and there are different packages in that particular service. So what a user discovers is that some of the services that he is subscribed to are missing, and they can only get them in an upgraded version of the service. So in the middle of the billing period, let's say for example, he subscribed in July 1st, and in July 3rd, he decided that this is what he wanted. He wanted to upgrade his service. Well, we're going to definitely calculate the amount of which the package that he had already subscribed to, what was not used. Because you see, he is only subscribed for a whole month from 1st to 31st of July. And he's now unsubscribing from this and resubscribing to a different package. Well, you have to take the different numbers of days from 3rd all the way till 31st and calculate what it is that is not used. So in this situation, let's say for example, we have a subscription, and I'll just take my calculator over here and show you. If we have a subscription here worth 31,000 or 31,000 per month, right? Then every single day is going to be charged at, in that particular month, 31, okay? Now, if in this particular month is only used this for 3 days up till 3rd, then it's going to be 3,000 shillings subtracted from the 31,000. So what is he supposed to be refunded to? The 31,000 minus 3,000, okay? 31,000 minus the 3,000, which is 28,000. Now, he's supposed to receive 28,000 back, right? But it's going to go to his wallet. And then he's decided to resubscribe to something, a bigger package, which is worth 63,000. So we've returned to him 28,000, and he's already used 3,000 worth of whatever it is that it is, right? So what he's supposed to pay is this 63,000 minus, get this, minus the 3,000 that he's already used. Does that make sense? No. Sorry, minus the 35,000 that is supposed to, that is already, Jesus, what am I saying? What am I saying? Well, I got so confident. Let me get this straight. Yeah. We've returned to this person 28,000 into their account. Okay. So this is the balance that he has. He's only used 3,000 worth. Now he's resubscribing to this item worth 63,000. So we're going to take the 28,000 that is in his wallet in the account, right? And he's going to only have to add 35,000 to the 28,000 to make up for the 63,000. So if that makes sense, I think we can move on forward. Let's try it now practically. Jeez. Okay. So let's move on to this point over here where we have our HRM over here. So I'm going to come in here and log in with an account that I've created. Let's say I don't have any companies, right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to add a new company. The company name is Vapor Technologies, with all the details ready for me to use. And country is Nairobi. Company type is a private limited company. And then we're going to do software development and distribution. The contact person is myself. The contact number and the email is here. And then we're going to come in here and put up a logo. So the logo is this one. And now we're going to create the company. Okay. So I'm going to save all those details. This is the company name and everything. So if we go to the dashboard, we'll be able to see our companies over here. So if I want to view the company, here it is. So now I want to subscribe to a quarterly package where we have this. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and select the quarterly package. I don't know why I went back to the dashboard there. And then I'm going to select the starter. So upon selecting the starter, as you can see, the total amount I'm supposed to pay over here is actually 12,150. So I'm going to check out, and it's going to initialize a payment to Paystack. So 12,150 is what I'm supposed to pay. So I'll just simulate a success payment, and boom, we've paid successfully, and it will hit back towards my callback URLs. And then over here now we select the month. So I'm going to select July. I can select June depending on which time I want to update my data, and I'll submit. So now after doing that, I've come to realize that the item that I wanted to purchase needed to include overtime management, bonus and fine management, and all that. So I've decided that this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to upgrade my subscription. So in order for me to upgrade my subscription, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the quarterly again, and then I'm going to upgrade to this plan. I don't know why it's saying semi-annually. I don't understand why it's doing that. So that's another thing. I think there's a bit of a flawed concept that I failed to account for, and that is the billing period, which is very essential in these items right here. So anyway, so let's say we're going to semi-annual. Billing period, I'll sort that one out later. Then I want to upgrade to this plan now for the semi-annual, which is 36,000. And now, given that it's 36,000 and the proration is coming in from, it should be 12,150 essentially. So the total amount that I'm supposed to pay extra should be above 20,000. So let's actually sort that one out, because I think this thing for the billing period is what is a problematic situation. So before I release this app to the public, this has to be perfect. This particular module has to be perfect. But all in all, let's say that the billing period situation was perfect, because that's the only thing that's causing this to have mishaps. I click on checkout, payment has been initiated successfully, and we have this. Okay. So I'm just going to simulate success and then pay. And now the payment has gone successfully, and watch what happens. So now we can come in here and go here, and you can definitely see our subscription saying that we have, okay, I just still don't understand why this has done this. But anyway, so that has all been simulated very well, and that I think has gone well. It's just that this whole situation of the billing period is what is pissing me off. But all in all, ladies and gentlemen, that is how certain items are indeed sorted out. As you can see, we have from July to October 21st, July 23rd to October 21st. That is essentially the quarterly subscription, okay? Because this is month 9, and this is month 10, and this is month 7. So those are 3 months. 3 months exact between July 23rd and October 21st. So I don't understand why it's done that, but I'll figure it out. Maybe it's something to do with carbon. Why it's giving me semi-annual, I don't understand. This should just be giving me quarterly. But let's actually see what happens. Okay, so we'll just go ahead to the models. I think I'll fix this and call it, because it's here in the subscriptions, and this is what it is. So let's use AI for a second. So give a more accurate way of telling which billing period was used. Why didn't I think of this? I think AI is always ahead of us in so many different ways. Let's just refresh this. You can see that quarterly. Price 12,150, price paid 12,150. Upgrade subscription, if we go to the quarterly side, this is the one that has been paid for. So if I want to upgrade to this plan, you can definitely see the professional plan is 20 to 50. Okay. And the proration at this point is going to be 12,149.53 because it's minus the day on the quarterly aspect. So the total that I need to pay back is 8100.47. So I'll check this out, and it's initialized successfully. And then I'll just simulate a success. Why not? Okay. So then I'll view. Watch the subscription. This should have changed. This should have changed. This should have changed. It should have changed. So let me just go back to the controllers. I think now we have a problem with how this has been viewed. There's something that is missing. There's something that is really terribly missing. Heavily missing. Oh well, I'll just call it then. I'll call it and I'll figure out how to go about this. But essentially, this is the flexibility of everything. This has been the flexibility of everything. I need to figure out how to finish up the proration. And gosh, this will be done off camera. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'll have to do a full-on tutorial on how this whole integration process is normally done. And yeah, for those guys who are really tuning into this channel, I will definitely do a bare bones breakdown on how payment systems are integrated so that you can do so on your own, such that you can pretty much sell anything. You can sell a service, you can sell a product, you can sell literally anything. I'll use Pesapal, I'll use Paystack, I'll use Ting. Yeah, I'll figure out how to package these items to you guys. That being said, it's been Steve Nyanumba back again with another live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've seen you guys on the stream. Yeah, so we've built a system. We built a proper system. I will do a demo video in its own time. Until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Please do indeed take care. And as always, God bless.